Hello and welcome to the Bruce Cizal channel. My name is Bruce Swartz. I'm from Montreal, Quebec, in the concentration camp of Canada. Things are not going very well, but we tend to see the negative things in everything, but things are going to get better, and that's why we're seeing a lot of the bad. It has to come. So what is this? Isn't it cool? This was the recent capture from a couple of days ago. Two lights actually touching themselves. Sorry, that sounds really bad. And you could see that they're, or one or the other, or one's absorbing it, right? Or resorbing it. I don't know how you want to call that. It's really creepy. And these are a lot of the captures that I capture in the sky. Sure, they're rare. That's why we have to film the sky often. My unique goal, to show the truth. We know this is not a satellite. Satellites could never come this close. We could see the stars in the background on top of it behind this totally secret project, or it's a beam. Maybe it's something being beamed. It's top secret alien, human secret project. We have no idea. It doesn't matter because this is the good stuff that the military and obviously our governments are hiding from us. The truth. But you know what? I want to reassure you. I don't know if it's reassuring, but for me it is. They don't know what the hell's out there either. Okay? They may know a lot, but they don't know everything. There's so much out there, in theory, right? This is another capture that I really appreciate and that are not that so rare anymore. Actually, not that rare anymore. Static electricity that you see in the sky. Don't forget, infrared camera here, and it picks up everything that is light, heat. You'll see it, right? The infrared camera, especially the one I'm using, the Bushnell. No regrets. Absolutely amazing. I can only imagine the Gen 3. You could have a Gen 1000 if you want, but it's not going to give you UFOs. If you're able to see UFOs, well then, yeah, get equipped. But look at all the different characteristics. What is this supposed to be? I'm going to get ridiculously close to show it to you because I want to show you the detail. What I appreciate in this is the atmosphere and the reality of the footage. It's real. We're seeing the light here. We're looking at infrared. But look what happens. Look at the long arm, I call it on the right. Something's turning around that object. We talk about so much debris out there in space. Of course, these objects can be debris, but look, flashes of light and movement. That's not a star, by the way. That's a UFO, right? The small ones on the bottom were stars. Let's say that one more time. UFO interaction. It's not an explosion. I saw more than one flash of light. I really rushed through these. I should take my time. So the two small objects on the bottom are stars, and the 1 and 2 and 3 on top are UFOs, and yeah, interacting, whether the lights be coming from the UFO or not. Look at all the characteristics. Of course, the three branches of military and the Pentagon said they can't put them all in the same boat and characterize them as one thing. Look at this. It's true. That's a little bit of truth that they did give out. Look at the interaction, and don't forget there's some phenomena in this that can occur that maybe do not have anything to do with the lights that are going by. So, of course, it's documenting all these and looking at the characteristics of the captures, and look at that. Sometimes we see really, really cool stuff. Recently, I've had the chance to witness objects materializing to its physical form. There's no two ways about it, or appearing from being invisible. These things, both ice crystals and everything that you could pick up as refraction with an infrared camera, is extreme. But when you look at an object like this and film it and see out of nowhere an object become actually physical, and watch this, there you go, it's literally in the sky, and that's a UFO. So on the very rare occasion I was able to film even a UFO that's actually materializing itself and appearing. You want to talk about materializing and dematerializing, whatever term you want to give it. This is a UFO that comes to a point and disappears with a streak of light, just like in Back to the Future, which was absolutely incredible. Around the time that I really started getting hacked too. And you know how all the channels are saying, oh my gosh, I exposed something, they're on to me. if you guys get harassed in your homes like I've gotten harassed, and the death threats and everything, and you show something that could actually be top secret, not just one thing. Imagine all the things that I've shown. There's maybe only one thing that they're concerned about, and those are the UFOs on the moon. And that's what we're going to talk about, because the UFOs that I've showed you on the moon could also be bombs. It could be bombing on the moon. Liberation of Earth in 2026. Well, how about liberation of the moon in 2019? We're going to go see some incredible footage from 2019 all the way up to now on the moon. But now, first, the sun. You just saw the sun behind the trees. Yesterday, I could not film it. Peter Benton was able to get them. Here's 2955 on the left and 2954 sunspots. Now, look at this. You know how NASA shows in the spectroscopy all the other holes and flares and photons and with all the different filters? It's still possible without spending a lot of money, even with a simple adjustment of the exposure and your camera. Watch this. We can see some of these different photons or spots that are around the sun, different plasma, etc., except we see it like this. So on the left of these two spots, you can see some dark patches, and that's the plasma lifting up off the surface. So of course you're not going to see it like NASA shows it, but we're still able to see the activity. In other words, if it's going to explode, well, I'll probably get a chance to see it. Not only are there objects going to the sun, but there's objects leaving the sun, like plasma balls, for example. They call them blobs. It's a proper term that NASA uses. But to capture this, a large object like that approaching or going by the sun or in the sun's orbit, and here, watch it, leaving the sun, it's not something you capture every day. It's easy, though, if you film the sun continually. And, of course, luck has to do a lot with this. I was filming this during a time where Earth, all of a sudden, for a first time, all of us had a lot of activity in the sky. Here's Venus. This is really cool and scary at the same time. And this is just before the sun became very active. Solar 25. Explosions I caught in deep space that you can see here, filmed with the infrared camera. And look how we're rushing through everything because I have so many findings. I want to show you guys so many things. And I think you guys appreciate that more. We move on. There's not just one thing in this video. What did you just see? Flashes beside the moon. Let's see that one more time. These are flashes with the infrared camera beside the moon. Now I want to talk about something really serious. Another interesting and scary theory that I have for the surface of the moon and the lights that we're seeing. Head over to the moon with me, please. On the surface of the moon, with the exposure taken down, a 14-inch telescope, this is real footage. We see fires on the surface in different places, both simultaneously taken off and some of them independently moving on their own. We're seeing flashes of lights appear under the brighter lights that seem to be moving fast and taking off from what seems to this from the surface of the moon. Now here's the scary part, horrific part. We talk about these being UFOs. What if these are explosions and or actual missiles taking off from the moon, going to other areas of the moon on the dark side or other galaxies? I mean, if they're UFOs, like I said, theoretically these can be also bombs leaving the surface of the moon. We're talking about this. Why? Why am I talking about this? Because of the liberation of the planets. There's rumors, I'm going to say, because there's no credible information that I saw or that anyone will be able to see of any liberation of a planet. But let me tell you something. The theory coincides with what's going on here. So whether it be because of war or because of a climate change affecting the planets. The closer we get to the sun, I imagine, the more effect on the magnetosphere and atmosphere and energy around the planets and stars. So how is that going to affect Earth? So, wow, it's dangerous. We really are living in dangerous times, because if that's not a war, did they just liberate the moon? Did we just try to take over the moon? This is very scary, seeing that there's not just one light there, and that I'm showing an actual proof with my telescope, and that there's no no attention to this. Don't forget, my channel's remained really quiet, and I show a lot of proof with UFOs, the same as a lot of other channels have done. So what's under these hazes, and who are these lights, or who are controlling them? I'm pretty sure that they're not natural phenomena. Let's get even into more detail. Hazes on the surface. Want to see flashes, explosions, and lights light up? These can be explosions right there. Boom, boom, boom. Lighting up on the surface. There's another object lighting up, another explosion. Look over to the left and you'll see here with the smoke moving over on the surface. We're seeing spots. We don't know what we're looking at, but that, you just saw an explosion. I showed you not only a UFO, I showed you an explosion, right? Or what looks like an explosion. It doesn't look like the asteroid explosions that NASA shows us, which, by the way, NASA themselves said it's very hard and very rare for someone with a land-based telescope to be able to witness and film and capture an asteroid. Have you ever seen a UFO illuminate the outside of the moon? There's explosions, maybe. It could be a war. Listen, we're seeing war here on Earth, guys. Watch something lift up off the surface and a light come out. If it's not UFOs leaving the moon, it's definitely maybe some type of missile or some type of war. We're seeing flashes of light. There's no two ways about it. I'm showing visual evidence. I'll tell you what, it can't be 100,000 things. If it's not a living being in that, it's something that's being shot, right? Definitely, it's something on fire. It looks like some type of energy that's keeping this object lit. It could be interacting with the atmosphere, of course, around the moon. I mean, I get it. There's so many theories. But when you see these lights on the moon, you know that there's an advanced race there for sure, or an advanced race, whether living or inhabiting or working there. It could be either one.
Up in the belly party, coming here so soon. Yeah, aliens up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mining on the moon, yes they are up there. Doesn't matter 'cause disclosure's coming soon. Disclosure's coming